Still,
Let's.
still, still a no. I
Uh,
love that.
it's
Universe
still
is
a no.
calling.
It's a still a no, but for us, we know we're in the know that you're going.
still,
Uh,
still a no. I
uh,
love that.
it's
Universe
still
is
a.
calling.
It's a still a no, but for us, we know we're in the know that you're going.
Thank you for repeating. Shall we go all the call like this on the loop?
I don't know what happened. It's just the universe is definitely telling you that you have to go. It's not giving you the option to say no. It's just
Yeah,
saying
it does.
you're in the know that you're no, you're going.
It seems like universe is not listening anymore,
Huh. Exactly.
or I am not listening. I don't know which one is going on here.
Exactly.
Oh, so
Oh,
good. How are you, brothers?
I'm good.
same.
I just got the most beautiful message from Michelle.
Tell us.
Huh?
You want to share? What did she wrote you?
She said, Happy Thanksgiving, sending you lots of love and light. I'm grateful for you and for your dedication to help so many people. Always know you have a pure heart, Eric. Always be proud of how you have chosen the right instead of the wrong, and how strong you have been to stay in this path. May God bless you always.
It's beautiful.
Such a beautiful message.
So you having a second Thanksgiving in right again?
Well, right now it's the United States Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Okay. So do you celebrate as well?
No, no, no.
Or
But
you
uh
did?
but the US does, so we get all of the love and message.
That's cool.
Why do you guys have different Thanksgiving?
Well, Canada does it on a different time, and then the US does it on a different time. I don't know. I can't really tell you the reasoning behind it other than um yeah, I can't really tell you. If I looked it up, I'm certain I could figure it out, but why does Canada and the US have different Thanksgiving days? Where are you headed, Sagitas?
Going back home from
Uh,
my brother.
okay.
Yeah, the Christmas time is here. I see everywhere the Christmas decorations comes up. The bridges are light up. It's becoming like a little Burning Man going on everywhere. LEDs everywhere.
The lighthouse is lighting itself up.
Yes, sir.
So good. Such a good life.
Yeah, I just met one of my friends that I haven't met for quite a while. We used to have this race cars, so we just had a moment of remembering that how we how we used to be crazy badasses on the roads.
Are you still crazy badass on the road?
No, I'm a very gentle now. I don't even speed
Yeah.
anymore. Well, sometimes maybe, but it depends. But yeah, it used to be crazy. It's kind of interesting to think how universe is always was holding, you know. So I've been crazy. I've been really crazy driver, and you know, I'm still alive. If I would leverage, like the speed and craziness and the possibilities of crashing and dying and or injuring is like literally. I'm really surprised how I went through all that without major damages.
It's fascinating, hey, isn't it? Like you
Yeah,
can reflect back on all the things that how many times we should probably not have continued living, and yet we're still here.
yeah.
It's a gift.
We were just laughing. Maybe we should repeat it, you know. So the police would recognize us because of, you know, they would say like, oh, what's happening? Is it like a time travelers? Because they recognize the patterns of driving. Yeah,
Mm.
it's fun. Fun ages to go through, some stages. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, you know, like we had this Honda SRX. Do you know the model? And
I think
then
so.
and then later and then later we had Subarus. So we would go like in tribes, you know, like 10 cars, driving like 100 kilometers an hour easy in towns, you know, in yeah, I just was fucking nuts.
No.
Good times, crazy times. Grateful for those. Grateful for experience. Grateful for, you know, to meet those people crazy like me. We would bond. You know, our bond was on craziness, on that, on speed, on just doing something that is illegal, kind of.
Mm.
That's our bond. It is to do, and we still keep the bond for, you know, like 20 years later. I just met him again. Yeah, fun. Ross, you look also like a crazy badass motherfucker somehow. I have this feeling that you did a lot in your life. Now it's a confession
Did?
hour, man. You still
Ah.
ah!
Who's the priest? And is the priest prepared for my sins?
Eric, let it be Eric.
Uh, I've done a fair few things. Yeah, probably still continue to do so every so often. But yeah, I mean, speeding, like, what is the definition of speeding? If it depends on how elastic you are in terms of interpretation of rules.
Exactly.
You know, if I'm doing like 20 kilometers faster than the speed limit, doesn't mean that I'm speeding.
Yep.
You know?
And there is places that I wouldn't speed, you know, like if I would go through school or daycare, doesn't matter now or later or earlier, I wouldn't speed, you know, through
Exactly,
dangerous places. So I would
exactly.
speed, but I would speed consciously, if that makes sense, you know, like if I'm in the and usually I wouldn't speed even earlier if I would have passengers in the car, unless it's a crazy motherfucker, you know,
Exactly.
like me.
Like
But
your best buddy, and you're like, take this.
yeah, exactly. But otherwise, I feel, you know, that conscious play with among, like, in between the lines or between the rules. How do you call it?
Yeah. So you would
Yeah,
define yourself as a conscious, responsible speeder.
yes.
Yeah, me too.
I wouldn't drive drunk, you know, like that's one, like what I did maybe a few times, but I
Yeah,
kind of regret those times. It's
Mm.
something I was never proud of anybody doing. I was never proud of myself that I did it, you know.
exactly. Same. And the only
Yeah.
times I did it was because there was either a ridiculous need or yeah. I didn't yeah. A lot of the time I would leave my cars and get a taxi or or a bus. Yeah. Yeah, I've had a few adventures. I'm sure it'll come out in a book one day.
Yep.
Looking forward to read that book.
Making friends with Albanian gangsters.
Yeah.
Well, we needed to survive, huh? And thrive in
Right,
that
exactly.
dangerous environment somehow.
Yeah. Cycling across university with 28, 28 with a rucksack full of weed. Few things.
Are you gentlemen following what's going on in America? How what's happening with the shift of Trump entering the presidency and Musk pulling all the government bullshit up?
Do you want to
I've been
share?
following I've been following a few bits. Like I saw that Hulk Hogan is going to be responsible for making America fit again.
Hulk Hogan. That's interesting. I thought that RFK Jr. Um,
Oh no, he's making America healthy again.
and Hulk is gonna do what?
Make America fit again.
Fit.
Fit.
Okay.
But yeah, please go
Cool.
ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you again. So go ahead.
No, it's just cool. It's cool to see, how like I was just watching this podcast with Joe Rogan and the last podcast he just released with Anderson. I don't remember something Matthias Anderson. I don't know that guy, but they're pulling really interesting stories. How the governments used to like how corrupt governments are and how they manipulate. Like establish, for example, the governments, if they would need to influence something that is against against law, so they would create a non-government organization, and then we would fund that non-government organization from government money, and they would just do whatever they need to do. It's so interesting.
Crazy, because that's yeah. They just
Yeah,
create it based off of their needs right off the hop,
yeah.
which all of us can do, but it's interesting how much the choice of when you're in that place of power can be manipulated. However, all of us can choose to be that type of sovereign where we can actually create as we go. But because of these type of manipulative tactics, most people don't even know that they have that autonomy.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
I
it seems like America is going to be very interesting to observe for upcoming years. How it's going to transition to like yeah, I'm so curious to track that.
yeah. I mean the things I've been following, like, this tariff, they're going to put 25% tariff on like Canadian and Mexican imports and European imports, and like an extra 60% or something on Chinese imports. As the former ECB president was saying, and I already said this before, my dad, it's going to hurt America more in the long run, with these extra costs. And it's just going to create a hyperinflation in the US. And then I love this stuff that, Elon Musk is going around saying, he's going to save 2 trillion on the 6.5 trillion governmental spend. But the reason he's going to do that is he's basically going to cut it in half by using his AI, and pay himself 1.5 trillion for the AI and for his space project, and then say, "Hey, thank you very much, Trump. I made myself 1.5 trillion, and I saved you 2 trillion on your Fed budget." But no one really needs to know that I made a couple million people obsolete and out of a job, you know?
And how do you see that? Like when you say obsolete, so do you see that is it's a good, or is it healthy or unhealthy?
I mean, I can see that AI is going to take over a large chunk and help reduce a lot of this inefficiency. But I don't believe in someone manipulating and taking advantage for their own personal benefit and their own personal gain, you know? And you know, you've never seen Elon Musk before in his whole life. He, as you know, open and gregarious and presential as he has been since he's got involved with Trump, right? You've really seen him kind of step up as like, not step up because it's actually bad. I think, you know, to me it scares me a bit because it starts to show his Doctor Evil kind of side of things, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
I definitely see that side, and I'm curious to continuously observe that. You know, he said in one interview, it's like, give me money, give me power, I don't care. And it seems like that. I don't know if he is fully aware when he says about power, right? What does that mean? Because
well,
it
yeah,
seems like
exactly.
he's stepping into that power with like very I sense that dictatorship. I wouldn't say that is already there,
Yep.
but I think it's something, you know, that we cannot be kind of self-aware. We need brothers like we have here, you know, to mirror these kind of things. And I hope that Elon has a very cool tribe around him that can reflect back
No.
honestly and truthfully, you know, like where actually relationship matters, not any no there's no power, there's no money in between, right? The relationship is um so
Yeah.
yeah, I totally agree with
Unfortunately,
that.
I followed Ellen quite a bit, and I like most of those large business leaders. I kind of researched them, and Ellen
Yeah,
is
same.
actually a very private man. He really does not have many people around him. He does not listen to other people. You know, he has all sorts of stories. Like he walked over to one of his head of procurement on T minus 12 or something on one of the launch of the lock rockets and had a go at him why he had ordered the $280 million worth of spare parts for the new rocket project in the middle of the launch. And the guy's like, I'm just trying to launch this rocket, like back the fuck off, you know, kind of approach. And as far as I understand from Elon, he only has one person close to him, which is his COO, who basically is just like his lapdog who goes running around actioning everything that he wants. He doesn't really have any counsels. Like every type of, you know, anytime he gets criticism or people talk to, you know, try to bring up some sort of awareness, he shoots them down and moves on or
Mm.
fights them. And then, you know, he's kind of got himself in bed with Trump, and essentially, from what I, in my hallucination, he's manipulating Trump to be his puppet. And you know, this is a really scary bit, is because I've never seen Elon. You know, he's always kind of a bit more quiet, a bit more slow, humble. But recently, when he's turned up on stage with Trump and at Trump rallies and stuff, he's like, "Come on!" and giving it all his, you know, big power and might,
Yeah.
which, you know, kind of shows like he has this dark hidden side to him. And you know, I think he had the black cap on or something, and he was saying something about "Make America Great Again," Trump, and black hat or something. I can't remember what it was, but I was a bit like, "Whoa!" And then, you know, if he can, if he can, you know, as soon as he said about saving the $2 trillion, I clicked automatically that what he's going to do is he's just going to AI the shit out of the US Fed and
Yeah.
make a whole people of redundancy. And he's going to be completely dependent. The whole US government is going to be dependent on him and his technology. And he can just manipulate the hell out of anything he wants. He already can do that with X, you know. So I think it's a super dangerous thing. And even people like Jeff Bezos, you know, is scared of like going against Trump and his campaign because of Elon Musk and Trump. And and made the Washington Post for one of the first times in history. Only one other time I think they did this where they didn't back a single presidential campaign. So it's scary.
Yeah, I definitely can recognize and acknowledge what you're saying, that the fear is. I think there's many people who see that um, power just kind of getting loose, like, and well, this is where the hope is kind of the only thing, kind of it becomes. It's like, I hope he's a genius guy. I hope, like, I also studied Elon Musk for many years. I used to be investor in Tesla stocks, and but I sold my all my shares. Then he purchased Twitter, because I start seeing those shadows coming out, and I definitely don't want to be involved with my with my power into this. Uh,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
The scary thing is I don't think many people notice or can see these subtle things popping up, you know?
Can it be
Well,
also, go ahead.
go no go ahead, go ahead.
Can there also be an alternative view here where perhaps there's things that are happening where as a result of Elon getting to where he is, because I read his book and he's quite the introspection, but also extremely curious. And so which is
Yeah,
what makes him also so profoundly available to create so much influence. And one of the things that we must never forget is that for a man to have the influence that they have to influence others. And Elon didn't do this. Um, he didn't get to where he is without having relationships, without building relationships, without building trust.
definitely, definitely.
So one of the things that we must, at least from my observation, I read it, like I said, I read his book and I'm still not even completely done it, but uh he fascinates me in the way that he chooses to operate where it comes, even when he's pushed away, he will take responsibility and figure it out. And so there's something profound in that level of resilience because when we're pushed away over and over and over and over again, told that we're crazy, that we can't do this, that we can't. There's something in the human spirit, which we all know what it is, that gives us this gift of trusting in ourselves even more. And as a result, getting to the place where he is today, it's come from a supreme understanding of oneself. And that has to be acknowledged, and it also must be there's a lot of wisdom associated with that because that's knowledge that was implemented as a result of trusting in oneself. So there's a lot there that we can learn, and it's challenging to see and observe a man that is doing some incredible things and also is creating the influence that he's had, but maybe it's his time to be able to also shine parts of him that he had needed to keep intimate or repressed in the past. And now that he actually is uh, able to step into that leadership and create a more collective movement, whether talking with Joe Rogan or Trump, having some to say in the government, he's taking responsibility where most people haven't in the past, and he's choosing to. So although, with AI and all these things that are happening, we have to remember that the Fed, was created that, we can't even, we the Fed is it was created to create a monetary value, but then when people would want to forge or counterfeit the dollar, right, they created it an outlaw. So maybe with AI, the same thing can happen when AI is being used as a general form. And uh, Noah Yuval, in his book Nexus, he actually talks about this, where he says in AI, what if we start focusing on making sure that the duplication or the forging of human intelligence, meaning like um, clones or duplicates of bots that are representing themselves as people, that also needs to be outlawed, you know? And maybe that's where Mr. Elon is coming in to say, hey, you know, we're really concerned with some of is happening on the global standard in terms of AI, and we want to make sure that we're outlining the things are duplicated and manipulated, just like the US dollar was when the Federal Reserve was created and was duplicate, and they outlawed the forging of it. So I think there's a lot of benefit of having a really amazing entrepreneur and leader that has come from nothing, alongside, you know, people like RFK and Donald Trump, and also the fact that they're in support and being completely transparent to like really sharing things on the Joe Rogan podcast, you know, being willing to be asked difficult questions by Joe and having these types of dialogue. From my perspective, that type of human action shows transparency, shows um openness of challenges, shows what's possible for anybody that actually discovers or wants to discover their own responsibility and how they can step up in community, in country, in society. I observe that and I see, wow, like that's inspiring, to
100%.
see men that grew up with a dream and are following that dream and are taking responsibility where they saw something falling apart. To me,
I
that's
agree with you. I agree with
I
you. Like, I definitely see that. As I say, like, I studied in him for many years as well, and I see that dream man, as you call it, and he's continuously dreaming and also taking actions. And what Ross is saying, that he doesn't have advisors or like close, like in fact I feel he must have like a really strong peer group that, you know,
I agree.
supports him, but the peer group is unknown. And that's why, you know, like that's why he is the only, he's kind of chosen from the group to go and be public and do these kind of things.
Exactly.
And I feel there is the peer group, it has to be super wealthy people. And I feel that's where he's getting all this money support, you know, to build those dreams, because of that peer group that is unknown.
and yeah, and don't get me wrong here, guys. You know, I'm saying it's scary because some of the things he's done recently make me doubt a little bit his true intentions. Whereas sometimes I do see that his true intentions are generally aligned to the goodness and the betterness of our planet and humanity. You know, although I'm not a big philosopher of, you know, if our planet is screwed, we should migrate to another planet. I prefer to try and fix that planet, partly because I'm scared to live in space, but that's my personal feeling. And you know, I do see him as a pioneer. I do see him as an amazing individual who has you know, disprove the doubters, right? And I know that he's probably had to bottle up, I've had to, and I feel it myself in my general life that, quite, and I'm sure you guys too, that often, we have to be a bit more reserved because everyone else, unless they're on the same wavelength or same level as us, are going to think that we're just crazy and it's impossible and we're doomed to fail, or that it's never going to make any sense. All those kind of different challenges that we're presented with. So I can understand that he's probably had to contain himself a little bit, and I hope, and I really sincerely do hope that that is the case. But there is a little spidey sense in me that has been alerted a little bit with some of his movements in the recent times, quite recently, which make me a little bit unsure or a bit worried that he may have not such good intentions, or that his good intentions will lead him down a wrong path at some point if he doesn't have that group of people who he can support and pull him back and realign him. And I've seen it with less important or less influential people who have been like that, and then even with those peer groups or people around him, they just end up ignoring them because the ego and the power gets to them. So I really do hope that that it's just my spidey sense, and my spidey sense is a bit wrong.
But
Uh,
I think that I'm sorry. I think that the thing is, bro, um, he has learned at least from the actions. He has either learned to listen and also then implement what he needs, and then he's continued the growth. So the growth has been exponential as a result of his actions. So my hallucination, and by the way, I went through this, is like we have to have a peer group as people that are in the limelight. We have to have peer group around us that is willing to be there next to you no matter what. Even if you make a mistake, you come back and you said, fuck, okay, whatever, the mistake is there, and then you keep going and you own it. My hallucination is that he's had that type of people around him. I mean, when you listen to what him and Peter Thiel did at the beginning, and how they integrated everything with PayPal, and then how uh, they had those disconnects at the beginning, and a lot of like that is all, those are all learnings that have allowed him to refine his own way of learning and listening. But the thing is whenever we push people away, if we don't bring them in closer and ask for an experience or an understanding or what they were thinking, or get curious about kind of what their thought process were when they were making decisions, then we don't learn as a team. And so I think that it is one thing to have a peer group, but it's also one thing if you're going to choose somebody to lead. And hi, Sophia, how are you?
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Amazing. Welcome. How's things?
It's going good. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Happy Thanksgiving. Where are you coming in from?
Dubai. I'm still in Dubai. Are you
Amazing.
in Canada right now?
I'm back in Canada. I'm back in Canada.
Celebrating with your parents?
I'm with my parents and enjoying life and grateful. It's amazing to be here. Always a blessing.
I know. I'm so grateful for so many things. I can't believe I've made it this far.
Do you want to share a little bit about yourself? Just so
Hi,
Um,
everyone
Sophia.
knows.
We are few in this call. Hi, Sophia.
Yeah.
Hi. How are you?
Good, good. Driving now, so curious about you. How did you
Yeah.
ended up
Share
here?
a little bit about yourself.
Well, okay. So my name's Sofia Angeli Leon Rodriguez. Right now a college student. I'm from Mexico, and honestly, I'm very grateful in this very fitting day that I've come this far. I'm studying right now in Dubai. I joined Tedder, so College of Business that is global, and I've been able to join so many opportunities to go to London and meet content creators and influencers, or meet Luisito Comunica, which is a personal inspiration. He's a huge Spanish speaking influencer that travels and like gets to know more about communities, and I'm so happy I got to meet him. I got to hear like stories, and hearing their personal stories inspires me to keep wanting to travel, explore more, but also help those around the world in whatever way I can. So right now I'm absorbing a lot of information from everybody I can, also from Eric Balance, which I had the pleasure to meet and have coffee with. And yeah, just absorbing information to know where there's a gap I can fill and how I can help people.
I love it. It's such a blessing to have you here. I'm so grateful that you've taken the time to jump on the call.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric. But anyways, I wouldn't want to interrupt the whole flow.
You're
You
not
can keep
interrupting.
talking.
You're not interrupting. I'm curious, what is happening right now since I've been gone? I know it's been a few weeks that I've been gone out of Dubai, but what's since Dubai, what's been the biggest kind of changes that you've noticed, made, whether it's at TED or at the school, that we all came to, or the group? How's things been progressing and moving forward in terms of the growth within yourself and maybe as the school as well? Any thoughts, any insights you want to share?
Yes. Okay. So after our talk, which was a little eye-opening, I'm not gonna lie. I've been practicing being more open and saying yes to more opportunities that come my way, because if it came to me, there's a reason for it. I was meant to say, to be able to do it. So far I was able to travel to London, as I said. So that was one of those opportunities that I did not believe I was going to be able to make it. And just been traveling. I'm going to be able to travel to India now for the first time this weekend, to
Nice.
also help out in terms of Tedder. I'm helping them promote our school and reach out to other people. I've also had talks with potential students. So I've been able to see their point of view, and I've been able to explain what the school is doing to the best of my abilities, so that I can help others, notice more what is wrong with the educational system, since it hasn't changed, and how there are alternatives, and how this is not just a school alternative, but it's also the opportunity where you can meet other people and connect and network and find your own way through all the chaos of the world. So
I love that. Can you, as a result, because I think it's a great way to transition into that, is, you know, what does Tedder and why is it so unique? Because, I really loved spending time with all of you. I love coming in, but it'd be nice to hear it from your perspective, why you find it so unique, and why do you think it's such uh evolved way of operating in terms of schooling and growth for yourself and your peers.
okay, so I would say that their unique standing is that we get to learn through experience, which is how the main way they are attracting us students, because we, especially people that have a similar mindset, because we don't want to conform to the traditional ways that have been done for like the past 100 years, and we
Right.
want something different. We know that if we want a different outcome and have a bigger impact in this world, we need to do things differently. So we like how Tedder is doing things differently. Again, yes, there are like flaws here and there, but together, like the whole student community, communicating this to the staff, so together we can help improve those, so that when other people come here and join us in this like crazy adventure, I'm going to tell you, can't believe it's almost over. Like in a month, it's done, and then we fly to India for the next semester. It is amazing. Um, Yes, I like that. I also like that we get to travel and learn like this different business models at the same time. So that way you can find your own personal niche and what type of business you're more interested in. For example, in Brazil, we might do an NGO, and in Ghana, we're gonna help small communities. So that's also very interesting. I'm really looking forward to that, to find like my own personal niche and what really calls me, what's my calling, because I know as a young student it is hard to know what you want to do for the rest of your life, and even when you plan to do something, it might not go the same way. And for Tether, it's giving us like so many opportunities to try out all these different track lanes that we could possibly take in the future.
I love that. I want to just highlight, I know that you are going to be going to India. So in India, I know a really great community that I had the blessing of spending time with in Andhra Pradesh, not too far from Chennai. And they do a lot of stuff with youth. They do a lot of stuff with sustainable community development. They really have built a lot of villages. And Anandagiri and the Loka Foundation are real key partners with us to really start to integrate a really more meaningful way to support the next generation. So I would love if you want to connect with them, or if there's a way I can connect you. So maybe you and your school or your class or the semester can organize a outing out there and to visit their community, because they're extremely thoughtful, but they're also extremely international. So just a little bit about Anandagiri and the local foundation is they were extremely supportive for my teacher, and then that's why I ended up going there, was because they made a huge impact on my teacher, and then as a result of his suggestion, I ended up going there. And you know, Tony, he talks about this all the time at Date with Destiny at all his events about Bhagavan and Krishnaji and Anandagiri. So these are it would be amazing if you guys want. I can make the connection, I can support, I can, and you guys can really go spend some meaningful time with the youth up there, but also uh just see what they're up to, because it would be really meaningful, I think, for you. There's a walk that they do in nature, and if there's a, I don't know how many of you are planning to go down, are going to be in India.
Yeah, the next semester is going to be in India, so the whole cohort is going to be there. I that actually sounds really interesting, and I would love if you could like, I don't know how it's spelled. I don't know if you could help me with the spelling so I can type it out here in my notes, or if you could
Just send
send me a
me,
text.
yeah, just send me a text after this, and
Mm-hmm.
I will make the connections. We'll make it all happen, and we'll integrate a more meaningful change, so that then this way we can really start to bring that narrative down in India. Because then, yeah, when you guys are in India and we start getting the youth down there, there's a lot of momentum there. And I know a lot of the youth, like I said, I just was with them a lot. So I spent a lot of time down there really integrating. But also on the other side, the youth, that's the whole cohort, will also get to learn from the practices of this depth, of this introspection, of this knowing, because there's a level of mastery that the ACOM community has really created in terms of identifying and understanding this oneness that's deeply intertwined within us all. So there also will be really meaningful meditation and practices that the whole cohort will get to experience within that community, and it's a really special place.
I really would like that, especially now that we're gonna be in India. We're gonna be building personal brands. So we want to identify like needs that there might be underlying needs that we can fulfill and how we can help out and how we can express that through our personal brand. And that would be an amazing opportunity, Eric. I'll text you right after this. I
Yeah,
really
please,
want
please
to.
do. And I'll connect you immediately with Yogesh and Nita and a bunch of the youth that are down there. So, and then you guys can all make it happen and organize. Where are you guys going to be staying in India?
So it's gonna be New Delhi.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool. So it might be a drive or whatever, but I think, if you're in India, make it happen, make it happen.
yeah. And a weekend, or we can because I know Natalia will definitely be interesting, and it's gonna be a whole change from Dubai, the dry arid desert, to
Yeah.
go over there and actually see nature. I feel like a lot of us need that, so a walk through nature, that sounds very good. Besides, as students who are under stress and have all these assignments and all these aspirations, I think it's nice to every now and then like calm down and take a breather.
Well,
And
they'll teach a lot of different ways to also integrate this internal world as well, right? Because the thing that, being in Dubai and also being part of that external focused material culture, which there's nothing wrong with, but it's also important to go inside and understand our internal world, which is what India really can help with, through the thousands of years of that ancient wisdom that's really helped integrate a lot of these yogic philosophies.
I would really love that, Eric. I just
Yeah.
thank you so much. I was not expecting this like huge opportunities. As I've said, keep an open mind and just be grateful, and like the opportunities will show up. I just wanted to hop on this call to thank you, befitting of the day. Um, the talk that we had, because it has opened up how I think of saying yes and like the opportunities that I'm willing to take on. And I discovered that I'm willing to take on everything that comes my way, because otherwise, as I said, it wouldn't come my way. So thank you so much, Eric.
That's beautiful. Keep trusting yourself, and everything becomes reality, because when everything starts to come into our nature, into our world, when we trust ourselves, we stay in that internal understanding. And then as a result, everything starts to actually come faster, faster, faster. But it's still, even though it's coming fast, you're in a slow motion. So this
Oh,
slow motion, you're able to see things a lot slower, but you can make that calm, precise decision. And that's I think what the next step is for you all as youth, which is why you're going to India. I believe it's going to really teach you some of these cool, internal, peaceful states that then you can choose to operate from that place of absolute presence, and as a result, really find all the solutions you're looking for.
thank you, Eric. I'll really need to text you because I want to know more about the onigiri. Am I saying it right? And
So Anandagiri is the master, one of the masters down there that I spent a lot of time with. So yes, he's one of the gentlemen that I will get you in touch with. But one of the youth, or a few of the youth, I'll put you guys all in a group so you guys can have a plan and make it all happen, and really start to create a plan of action for the next stage of the walk or whatever else is possible. Because I know that I think they're just starting a walk today or tomorrow,
Mhm.
right now, that they posted on their foundation site, and I actually also shared it. But yeah, there's just a lot of goodness there. I'm really excited for you all.
Thank you so much. I feel like it would really give us that peace of mind that we've been looking for.
Good. Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect timing. It's perfect timing. We got to take care of each other. This is what the planet is for, is to take care of the playground, take care of one another, enjoy, have fun, and build with intention. I think this is where I always share, is like, we are the infrastructure. We get to create, and by getting to create, we step into a more fun paradigm. This is the funness of it all.
Thank you, Eric. I just wanted to say thank you, and I came up with so much more. Came
Yeah,
out
no,
with so
thank
much
you.
more.
Thank you for showing up. Sagitas, Ross, do you guys have anything to
That's
add?
Yeah, like what Eric was saying, like this, so you will find the solutions, and just wanted to somehow course correct that solutions will show up as it did right now, you know, as in
Yeah,
the universe keeps us in awe. So that's beautiful, beautiful alignment.
thank you. I will. I'm trying.
Yeah, and I'm also curious to know more about your passion. What is your passion? What do you feel like you've been called, pulled to? Like with this new way of education is it's interesting because that's kind of it's we've been I guess our generation has been framed much more into kind of the same, and it sounds like how did you call your education? You named it a few
Oh,
times.
Header, College of Business.
Yeah. It seems like they're doing something amazing. I
Yeah, I'm really happy
love
to be
that.
part of it. Just have to be reminded to be,
Can
grateful every
imagine.
now and
Can
then.
imagine. Do they teach that gratefulness?
Um, no, we're working more on teamwork because there's been sometimes a little flaws in between communication, but we're working on communication. And I think the next step after communication would be gratefulness. So if we do take this opportunity,
Mm.
definitely some students and I will be interested to go in India and explore more about, their ancient
Mm.
methods of how to, stay grounded, but also learn to disconnect from what's not important because everybody's on this like chase, chase, chase and achieving track that we
Mm.
also need to realize that there's like much more.
Mm. I love your spirit. Seems like passionate.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys. I thank you. It was nice meeting you. Sigitas? Am I saying it right?
Sigitas.
Sigitas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sigitas, Eric. It was really nice meeting you. I just wanted to say thank you in the heart of Thanksgiving. I'm actually about to join my cohort in Thanksgiving dinner. Ah,
Give everybody a
Mm.
big hug from me, okay? Take a picture and put it in the group, please.
I will. I will. I will. Thank you
Okay?
so much.
Yeah. Much
Mwah.
love, everyone.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, guys.
You too.
Thank
Hugs.
you. You too.
Bye. Ah.
Great energy.
It's so beautiful. We're talking about that the different perspectives and like entrepreneurship, and she showed up, and here it is. Yes, we are new wave is coming of new generation, new thinkers, new way of doers, and new way of beers. Yeah, and like to what we were talking about Musk, and hope, and I feel that's where like the hope kind of sneaks in, but like what I choose to choose what I choose to choose is love and trust. That Elon has a great intentions, and that is kind of like I see in some ways myself in Elon a lot of way, and yeah, trust is better. I would say better word than hope. Hope is a beggar, as we know, and I trust that he is gonna do what he came to do here, as the same as I would trust myself, as the same as I would trust Eric, as the same as I would trust Ross. Like it's just like we have to trust each other on things we don't know. This is a deep work, deep layer of self integrity, where I feel if Elon would be walking, um, or like talking, not walking, he wouldn't be here where he is. And if he has that peer of group or doesn't, like I somehow feel that it's impossible that he is doing it all by himself. I feel the rest of the group, is more interested in playing games but they have like a lot of influence on what Elon does and how he express himself. And they don't need the recognition. They don't need to be known. They don't need to be, it's just like I feel he's coming from the nerdy background. So of course, and most of the nerds are introverts, and that's what makes me assume all of that. That he must have like a really advanced nerds, in the peer group that is just supports him all the way.
I love it. That's the thing is when we're fully supported and when he's fully supported, we become unstoppable. And
yeah,
mistakes will happen, but what makes us stronger is by working through those mistakes with a devotion to come together and to stay together and to stay stronger together, because those moments of conflict, from my perspective, is what made me so strong and connected to my family. Because in moments of conflict and hardships, we didn't run away. We chose to stay together. We chose to look after each other. We chose to love each other. We chose to decide and commit and resolve that when it's hard, we come together. We don't fuck. We still have thoughtful disagreement and we still say what we think we need to say, and we don't hide anything. But just because there's a mistake made, it doesn't mean we run away. It doesn't mean we choose to walk. Bro, if my parents wanted to walk away from me, I'd be dead. I'd be dead. I wouldn't be alive. So this is something that for me is a must. And because I'm gonna do all the mistakes, but that's how I'm gonna be able to learn. These are all lessons from my perspective. So I love you all.
Love you all. Love you all as well. Yeah, it's been cool.
I'll
For
see you
us,
guys
we cannot
soon.
hear.
I gotta run
We
because I
cannot
gotta go
hear
to the
you.
bank and
Oh,
set up my new banking account.
no sound, Ross. Okay, brother. Uh, Run and ciao, Ross. I don't know. For some reason, we cannot hear you.
We can't hear you,
No.
brother. We love you, Ross.
Uh,
Oh, there we
Chat.
go.
I was just going to say, Sigitas, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll see you in Krakow on Wednesday, and you can fly with me to Edmonton on Thursday via Paris. See you there, bro.
Ciao. Much love.
I
All
love
right.
you.
Bye.
Love you.